What is going on, dudes and dudettes? This is Takai, and today I wanted to make a quick video for you guys on how to sync together A7S II footage with A6300 footage using Timecode. Roll the intro. So timecode is this internal clock inside of your camera that makes it easier for you to sync it to another camera using timecode in post. Using timecode is pretty ideal for run and gun shoots where you're not actually syncing the footage together at the very beginning of the clip. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to turn on the timecode on the A7S II. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to turn the camera on and you're going to go to menu, and then you're going to go to the far right toolbox icon, go to tab number 3 where it says TC/UB settings. Go down to TC run and you're going to switch it from record run to free run. After that, you're going to go to the TC preset button and click on that, and it's going to show you a little clock that's zeroed out, and then you're just going to push enter. And what that does is it starts the clock from 0. And then you're going to do the exact same thing on the second camera, and in my case that's the Sony A6300. So you're going to turn the timecode on that camera, and in order to get the two cameras perfectly in sync, when you're in the timecode preset menu, you're going to want to push enter on both of the cameras at the same time. So now the two cameras are perfectly in sync, but you want to keep in mind that the internal clocks on the cameras aren't perfect and they eventually start to drift apart from each other, becoming out of sync. But I don't really see this as a big deal because when you sync the footage together in post, it's only going to be off by a couple seconds, and it's definitely better than trying to do it manually. And just to save yourself some extra time, make sure that both cameras have good quality on-camera shotgun mics on them. So when you sync the footage together in post and it ends up being off by a couple seconds, you can use the synchronize button in Premiere to help it finish the job. The synchronize button works the best when the in-camera audio is as good as it can possibly be. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to sync together the footage. So we have our two cameras here, the A7S and the A6300. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to select all on all the clips so I can highlight them all, and then we're going to right click it and go down to label, and we're going to change the color. And right here on the left side you can see that it changed to violet, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to be able to at a glance tell which clips came from what camera. Now we're going to double click on the folder and we're going to just open it up a little bit so we can see it better. We're going to scroll all the way down to the right. Around this upper area, we're going to right click it and click on Metadata Display. And this box is going to come up and we're going to type in camera label. I'm going to click that box and check OK. And now it opens up a new little chart that shows the camera label, but it's blank. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to go to meta logging, and we're going to open up the A7S folder and we're going to click select all again so all the clips are highlighted. And right over here where it says file, we're going to go scroll all the way down to where it says camera label, and now we're going to click in that box and we're going to put camera 1. What that did is it applied the number 1 to all the clips that we just highlighted. Alright, so now we're going to do the exact same thing but for the A6300 folder, and then go to the camera label. Now we're going to type in camera 2, and all these little 2s are going to start filling up in the box. Alright, so now that we're done with that, we could exit from the metadata display. Now we're going to make a new folder so we can put all the clips into that one folder. So we're going to go down right here to new bin, just type in folder, we're going to open that up, push that to the side, open up the A7S folder. I'm going to select all in the clips, click and drag so that they're all transferred over to the new folder. You can delete that now. And then the A6300 folder, we're going to do the exact same thing. And here's the reason why I said to change the color of the clips. Once we put them all together into one folder, if you look on the left here, you can see these blue and purple squares, blue being the A7S and purple being the A6300. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select all on all the clips, and we're going to right click it and go to create multi-camera source sequence. So that opens up this little menu and we can change the sequence name to whatever we want. I'm just going to name it Skibbity Doo. The things that you're going to want to check on is timecode, and then you're going to click on create single multicam source sequence, and track assignments should be camera label. And that's all you got to do. Push OK. And now we have our multicam source sequence. We're going to right click it, go down to open in timeline, and all the clips are now synced together in real time, or at least the closest that the software can get it. And like I said before, the footage isn't always going to be perfectly in sync. It'll be in sync when you first do it, but later on in the day, the time codes eventually start drifting apart from each other. And I'm going to show you guys an example of that right now. So here we have an interview setup that we did at the end of the day. I have the two camera setup, this one being the A6300, and then here we have the A7S. And as you can see here, the audio forms don't actually match up with each other. And even though we synced it with the timecode, the audio waveforms aren't actually matching. And this is why I said it's a good idea to have a good quality on-camera mic, because this is bound to happen, and having the on-camera mic will make this a lot easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these clips just so we have less to work with. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all these clips. I'm going to right click it and click on synchronize. Okay. So now the two clips are perfectly in sync with each other, and because the two cameras had two good quality on-camera microphones, it made this process a lot easier. If you weren't to use the microphones, there's a decent chance that you're going to have a harder time trying to sync this together. So the out of sync issue is going to be the case for clips that are shot later in the day as opposed to clips shot at the beginning of the day, again because the internal clocks on the camera aren't perfect and they eventually drift apart from each other. So having the on-camera mics will help you save a lot of time resyncing the footage. So I would recommend going through all the footage and making sure that everything is in sync, because like I said, when you first set the time code, everything at the beginning of the day will be in sync, but as the day progresses, stuff will eventually start to become out of sync, and you don't actually know when that's going to start happening, so you want to go through everything to make sure that everything is good. And for the clips that do become out of sync, at least the time code puts them close enough to each other where it's not too far off, and when you use the on-camera microphone and synchronize method, it'll help you finish the job. So that's the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and check out the other ones that I make, because I make plenty more videos just like this one. And as always, have an amazing day, and I will see you guys later.